Hi everybody, my name is Arijana Lukic and welcome to my YouTube channel. I haven't been online for a couple of weeks, I think, to post anything. So today I will share a special project I started to experiment a little bit, which is also done with resin, but it's not doing art with colors. It's just resining some other art pieces that I have made previously. And the reason why is because I have two women that purchased two of those, and we were trying that alternative instead of framing them. So I was like, what if we just resin them on wood panels? So it was an experimentation, and my experiment started with one mandala here that is a little smaller. It's 12 by 12 inch. I'll just put it a little closer. This one actually worked really well. So I'll explain to you in the stages that I have done this. So the art piece was a little bigger than the wood panel, so that was great for me, and actually that's a desired way to start. And let me show you, I used this glue here, Elmer's glue. It's just a simple school glue, and you need a lot of it, so buying a big gallon is like necessary. I think that was almost 4 liters. So what I've done is I put a lot of glue on the wood panel first, and then I put my mandala on top. So it is a little tricky because it's hard to aim when everything's just so sticky. And when I say use the glue, is like put a lot of glue underneath. You need a lot of it. So the reason why is that you don't want any bubbles underneath, and you don't want anything that's going to keep the paper from being straight. So it has to be one on one with the board. It has to become one. Now for this one here, I don't know if I waited to add the second coat on top. I cannot remember, but my suggestion is to wait that the first layer has dried, and then you are going to do the top layer. It does take time, but unfortunately this is a process that needs a little bit of patience. And then I put a lot of glue on top again, let that dry. Then what I've done is I have an X-Acto knife right here. Actually, I'm going to close it. Ta-da! And I also have a big green mat for cutting. So I trimmed the edges on the sides and made it perfect to size, and then I added glue all over again on the sides here, because the resin can enter the edge and then leave you watermarks, which is not very nice. You can see all this in the video at the end, so I put all the process there. The back here, you see all these resin bubbles. So to remedy the situation with these, because my wood panel is very thin as well, so you don't want to have the bubbles here and to have to remove them because your material is already so thin and it takes so much time to file. So now what I'm doing, and I'm using this tape and put it on the edges so I don't get this. I can just remove them after, and it removes all the drips that I have from resin afterwards, so it's much easier. You can try that. So this was my first one. Then I'm trying a bigger size, and this is where I started having problems. My second piece that I tried is 16 by 16. Now at the back you can see the difference. I did use the blue tape. I didn't remove it all here, but I will. But it's much better, so I don't have all these drips all around. However, what happened with this one is, I don't know if you can see, but this part underneath is not even. It has like a little line. That's, to me, it's very visible. It's not a big deal, but I know that underneath of this paper here, something happened and I have a little bubble. And so my paper looks like it was rather like split or something. I don't know. It's very, very light, but I still like when everything's really straight. The problem with this piece here is that I did not apply enough glue on the edges. Let me find an edge that is, okay, this one is the most visible here. So you can see the watermark. I mean, I call them watermarks, but it's the resin that's been sinking into the paper. I was trying to find a solution to this. So I tried to resin a different mandala, which is made out of a different material. I thought it's going to solve my problem. So it's not that easy because I encountered other issues actually that I didn't expect. First of all, this one here is a photo paper. So photo paper, I don't need to put glue because it's already waterproof, so that's perfect. But unfortunately, what happened is I ran out of the wood panels, and I decided to use one that's like 3 millimeters bigger on each side. And the problem with the photo paper is that when you get the white background, it's really white, and it's really hard to match anything in the background here to be as white as this. So I tried to prime my piece, then I painted it, then I sprayed it over. Finally, I reused the same piece all over again. And what I've done is I used paper from a huge sketchbook and taped it at the back. Still, we could see the difference in the white color, so it's not the ideal. But at that point, I was already into the process. I just wanted to finish it and then experiment. And I learned also something new. So what happened with this one is that I didn't use Elmer's glue to glue my photo paper on the wood panel, but I used Super 77, which is like apparently a spray. I don't have this on video because I actually did it outside and it wasn't that cold, so I could do it outside because this smells and you need a mask. But what happened is you can actually tell it didn't work out. All my piece underneath is not glued properly, and it's leaving all this uneven look to it. And you can tell that it's not very nice. So I didn't expect that. This is something I found out only at the end of my process. And I can even like press on it. You can tell that the resin coat on top, it's just covering on top of it, but there's a huge bubbles underneath, so the glue didn't really work out. And I don't know if this is a problem that I had because of my heat gun. There's two things that happen is when I pour the resin on top, I used the gun for a while because there were so many bubbles. And the bubbles were also very, very close to the paper, so I really spent a lot of time getting rid of all these bubbles. Unfortunately, even though I did that, I still got some bubbles left. It's not a lot, but they're still there and they bother me. And maybe this is because I had too much resin. So what happened is that even though I used my gun and then I left the piece and it started like running away from the sides, it created more bubbles on the way. I think that's what happened because I killed them all. I swear I did it, but no, it didn't work out. So this is like a total failure. Like I can't do anything with this thing. Plus my edges again, the paper that I glued on the wood board, again, I didn't put enough glue. When I say put a lot of glue, I mean it's a lot of glue. I can't say it enough. So it's really necessary to buy like a bucket of glue. And don't be worried about it because it all dries and it doesn't leave, it's not supposed to leave anything on the surface. I have to say I have not tried putting the Elmer's glue on the top of the photo paper. But so far on the paper itself, it doesn't leave any traces and any marks. It's just perfect. So if you're worried about that, that's not a problem. Not on the fine art paper. But my next experiment could be to try to use Elmer's glue instead of the spray and then see what I get. And I also will use services elsewhere to cut my wood panels, because when I go to a normal hardware store, what they do is the the blade always has a little bit of an error in the calculation how big you want it. So what the person did is they made it actually bigger, then maybe make it a little smaller. I asked for 16 by 16 and they got it a little bit bigger. So most of my pieces are actually big. My possible solution to all this, which I didn't try yet, is to use all the mandalas printed on a linen based material. So these are actually stickers. I don't know if you can tell here. So this is a sticker, and you can use these stickers for walls. That was the intention originally. The kids love it in their bedrooms. It doesn't need framing, and it's easy to just remove. Some mandalas that have like a white background, you can also cut it out, so it's very nice. And if the white is not matching the wall color, this one is nice by itself as it is. But I mean, it's very versatile. So I do have these printed, and now I'm thinking that maybe I could use it as an alternative and put them on my wood boards, so I don't need glue, at least not underneath, which is one of my primary concerns, is the layer underneath. It's really hard to handle. So if I print them on these, then it's easy to stick, and then I could use Elmer's glue and pour it all over and let it dry, and then just trim the edges. So that's an idea that was born out of all this experimentation, to get it right, to have less work, and to not wait to dry everything for such a long time. So this is one solution. I do think because it's fabric based that I still need to add a lot of glue on top. That's for sure, because it is fabric. So paper fabric, to me, that's very relatable. And a new idea also came out of that, because I'll show you this size. This mandala here is 8 by 8. It's also a sticker. So I printed these just for fun, but now I'm thinking to actually resin them on small wood pieces and make like a huge mosaic out of them. There's another one here. They're like really cute. And like put them like tiles, resin tiles, and then just make like a big wooden piece in a square or something. And I have 40 mandalas so far that I created in 2016, so that would just be an opportunity to mix and match and make something really colorful. So that's one of my future things that I would like to try out. Now I do hope you have learned something from these videos, and don't be afraid of using a lot of glue, making sure every step is dry first before you start another one. Trim the edges, make sure that your art piece is bigger than the wood panel. Trim the edges, apply the glue on the sides again, and quite a lot. Let it dry again until you apply the resin. And I hope that although we watch so many videos, we can also make mistakes, and it's trial and error, but that's what I have to say about it. So this is it for today. I really appreciate sharing with you and reading your comments, and I'm going to try to post other videos in the next days, although it's like Christmas time and it's very busy for all of us, but I will definitely try to do something. I don't know what my next project is. I have my mind wrapped around so many things. Thank you for watching. Stay to watch the process if you're interested. Leave me comments, subscribe to my channel, and I really appreciate all the likes that you're giving me and following, and I'm looking forward to share more with you. Bye.